For more analysis on the gun control debate in the U.S., we're joined live by Paul Craig Roberts, a former Assistant Secretary of the U.S. Treasury. Mr. Roberts, President Obama hasn't mentioned the assault weapons ban since the second school shooting at Virginia Tech in 2011. And he did nothing during his first term to revive the gun control debate. Did it have to take the deaths of 20 children for the president to address the issue?
Well, you know, we had in the 20th century prohibition in which alcohol was prohibited. You weren't allowed to manufacture it, or sell it, or buy it, or drink it. And alcohol was everywhere. Everyone had alcohol. And it was the origin of the American criminal gangs, Al Capone, John Dillinger, and they all made millions and millions of dollars with bootleg alcohol. Currently, in fact, for many decades now, we've had the war on drugs, and narcotics are illegal. You're not allowed heroin or cocaine or marijuana. We spend billions and billions and billions of dollars, and yet the drugs are everywhere, and it has enriched the drug gangs, and the drug gangs fight over their turf, kill one another. So
basically what you're saying is that we've reached a point where we need to start talking about gun control in a serious manner. So I'm going to ask you this. The National Rifles Association has stated that it is prepared to offer meaningful contributions to prevent more violence. What kind of assistance do you think it means by this?
Yes, I think they're just intimidated by the fact that little children were killed. But my point is, if they can't control alcohol and drugs, they can't control guns. And so there'll be a huge black market in guns, and all the gangsters will have guns, just as they still do.
A sling and a rail system.
You know, my own view is that since the United States is now a police state, I mean, we have the most extensive spying on citizens in human history. It even goes beyond the imagination of George Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984. You can't have a police state and an armed population, so there's no doubt they're going to take the guns away. It's absolutely certain. And these kinds of incidents helps them, but they're going to take them away anyhow, because you can't have an armed population and a police state. Now, the trouble with these incidents is that you never really know what happens. For example, here I'm looking at two news reports. This is the Associated Press, Jim Fitzgerald and John Christopherson, dated December the
I just want to jump in there. Is this an issue about guns, or is this an issue about the people who are buying the guns? You have a lot of these incidences is the people who are said to be mentally unstable to have those guns, and on one side there's people are saying it's the guns that need to be taken away. So how does the president of a nation that has that has the right to carry these arms decide on what measures to take in order to make every party happy?
Well, if he can declare that he has the authority to murder American citizens without due process, if he suspects that they might be terrorists in any way, connected to terrorists, or if he declares that he can imprison Americans for life without ever presenting evidence, he can certainly take away the guns. All he has to do is do it. But
Great point there.
The point I'm trying to make is we don't really know what happened, and the news reports are inconsistent. For example, the Associated Press reports that the medical examiner, Dr. Wayne Carver, said all the victims at the Connecticut elementary school shooting were killed up close by multiple rifle shots. And yet, all the reports are that the accused is found dead in the schoolroom with 2 handguns. So how did he kill the kids with rifle shots with handguns? The inconsistencies in the reports. The same was true of the shooting in the movie theater.
Yes, but either way, even with the inconsistencies of reports, at the end of the day, there are 20 kids who are dead right now.
Yeah, but we
plus
don't know
others,
anything
and
about
there's
it.
guns involved. We can't necessarily say it's because the media is writing, is sending out the wrong information. At the end of the day, we're talking about guns, and we're talking about people being killed. So where do we draw the line? Who has the power to draw that line?
Well, I'm absolutely certain that today the United States Army killed at least 20 kids in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Yemen, Somalia, wherever they are. And we don't hear anything about it. It's only if our own kids get killed, then all of a sudden we get upset. The news is agenda-driven. The news is agenda-driven. And as I've already told you, you cannot have a police state and an armed population. And therefore, they're going to take the guns away. That's absolutely certain. And these events, whether real or not real, are simply helpful in taking the guns away. So the Americans are going to be disarmed. You can't have a police state and an armed population.